Hello everyone, welcome to Tiwari Academy. Today we are going to solve sample question paper 1 of class 10 term 1 in the session 2021-22. So the first question is of section A, which consists of 20 marks of 1 mark. First question is 3 plus root 5 is what? So we know that 3 plus root 5 is irrational number, but how we will prove that? So let us assume that 3 plus root 5 is a rational number. So it can be written in the form P by Q. So here, if you separate this P by Q and 3, that means we can write root 5 equals to P by Q minus 3. So we know that root 5 is not rational number. So P by Q minus 3 will be a irrational number. So option C is right answer. Coming on to next question. Which of the following rational numbers is expressible as a terminating decimal? So, a number to have a terminating decimal, its denominator should have 2 raised to the power m into 5 raised to the power n. The denominator should be or can be expressed in the form 2 raised to the power n into 5 raised to the power n. So let us see option A. Denominator is 625. So 625 can be written as 5 into 5 into 5 into 5. That is 5 to the power 4. But we don't have 2 here or 2 to the power something. So what do we do is 2 to the power 0 is nothing but 1, because 2 to the power is equal to 0 is equals to 1. So 5 to the power 4 comma 2 to the power 0. So this can be written in the form of this formula. So option A is having a terminating decimal. Now coming on to third question. If two positive integers a and b are written as a equals to x cube into y square and b equals to x into y cube, where x and y are prime numbers. So what is the HCF of a comma b? So let us find out prime factorization of a comma b. So prime factorization of a is, what is a? X cube into y cube. So a can be written as x into x into x, that is x cube, into y square. And prime factorization of b is x into y cube, that is x into y into y into y. So how many pairs we are able to form here? That is, see, x, y and y. So HCF is equals to x into y into y, which means h in x into y square. So the option B is right answer. Now let us come to fourth question. If the HCF of 65 and 117 is expressible in the form 65m minus 117, then the value of m is what? So what they are asking is 65m minus 117 is equals to HCF. So for this, to calculate value of m, we need to find HCF of 65 and 117. So HCF of 65 and 117 is, prime factorization of 65 is 13 into 5. Prime factorization of 117 is 13 into 3 into 3. So the HCF HCF we got here is 13 because 13 is making a pair. So HCF is 13. So we can write that 65m minus 117 is equals to 13. So 65m equals to 13 plus 117, that is 130. So m equals to 130 divided by 65, which is equals to 2. So option B is right answer. Option B is right answer. Okay, now coming on to question number 5. The number of polynomial having zeros as -2 and 5 is what? How many? See, we know that there are two zeros of a polynomial here, that is -2, comma 5. So f of x will be a into -2 means x plus 2 and x plus 5 is there, so x minus 5 is 0. So the equation formed here is a into x square minus 3x minus 10. So a can be any real number, sorry, a can be any positive integer. So there are infinitely many solutions. So option D, more than 3 equations, is the right answer. Given that, so the question number 6 is, given that one of the zeros of the cubic polynomial ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d is 0, then the product of other two zeros is what? So for the product of zeros in a cubic polynomial, one relation we know that alpha into gamma plus, sorry, alpha into beta plus beta into gamma plus gamma into alpha, which is equals to c by a. This is sum of product of zeros of a cubic polynomial, and we know that in a cubic polynomials number of zeros equals to 3, that is alpha, beta and gamma. What they are telling that, given that one of the zeros of a polynomial is 0, means one of these value is 0, alpha, beta or gamma is 0. That means if you consider alpha as 0, let alpha equals to 0. So this equation will be alpha into beta is 0 plus beta into gamma is beta into gamma plus gamma into alpha is 0, that is equals to c by a. So product of other two zeros, that is beta into gamma, that is equals to c by a. So the option number B is right answer. Coming on to question number 7. If the zeros of the quadratic polynomial ax square plus bx plus c, where a is not equals to 0, are equal, then here they are asking that zero of a polynomial are equal. That means this is a quadratic polynomial. The number of zeros will be 2, that is alpha plus alpha and beta. So they are asking what does this c and a have opposite sign, or c and b have opposite sign, or c and a have same sign, or c and b have a same sign. So see, we know that alpha and beta are equal. So in quadratic equation, product of two zeros, that is alpha into beta, that is equals to c by a. But we know that alpha and beta equal, so we can write alpha into beta as alpha square or beta square, that is equals to c by a. And square of any number will be positive. So c and a will have same sign. So option C is correct answer because it is positive. Fine. Question number 8. The pair of equation x equals to a and y equals to b graphically represents line which are, see, now if you draw a graph, here, this is y axis and this one is x axis. here x equals to a means here y value is 0, that is that is see, x equals to a means x is having some value here a. This is point a. That means this line will be parallel to y axis. This equation of this line is x equals to a, and y equals to b, that will lie around somewhere here, has value as b means this is b. So this is a line which is having equation y equals to b. So they are meeting at a point a and b because both are parallel. One is parallel to y axis and one is parallel to x axis. So the angle between them is 90-degree and they both are intersecting at point a and b. So option D is right answer. Okay. Coming on to question number 9. The pair of equation y equals to 0 and y equals to -7 has. So let us again draw a graph here. Let us again draw a graph here. This is y axis. This is x axis. And what they are asking you is y equals to 0. So y equals to 0 means it is nothing but x axis. Your x axis only is y equals to 0. And the other line is y equals to -7, which will lie somewhere around here. So this is y equals to -7. So both the lines are parallel. Both the lines are parallel. So because this is also what? Parallel to x axis, and parallel lines never meet. So this have no solution because parallel line never meet. So they don't have any common solution. So option D is right answer. Now coming on to question number 10. If x equals to a and y equals to b, the solution of equation x minus y is equals to 2 and x plus y is equals to 4. Then the values of a and b are respectively what? Here it is mentioned that x minus y minus 2 equals to 0, which means this equation, and x plus y minus x plus y minus 4 plus y minus 4 equals to 0, which is this equation, are equal when, only when x equals to a and y equals to b. So what do we have to do is replace x and y with a and b. So see, this, both the equations are equal. Both the equations are equal only when the values are a and b. So x is a minus y, that is b, minus 2 equals to a plus b minus 4. So here a and a will get cut. 2b equals to 2, that is b equals to 1. And if you put this in equation, this equation, value of b, you will get value of a, that is equals to 3. So the correct answer is a is 3 and b is equals to 1. So option C is right answer. Okay. Now here comes the complicated questions. Question number 11. Here it is little lengthy, not hard. So the coordinates of point which is equidistant from the three vertices of triangle AOB as shown in figure. So the meaning of the question is, there is a point, we need to find coordinates of a point which is equidistant from A, O and B. These are the three vertices. So let the point which is equidistant be any point. Let it be R. So let us consider it as R. So R with coordinates P comma Q. So R is having P comma Q as coordinate. So using Dichter formula, It is already given that OA, OR, sorry, OR, AR and RB are equal. That means OR, comma, is equals to AR is equals to BR, because all the three vertices are equidistant from the point R. Okay. So let us apply distance formula here. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to find the distance OR, AR and BR with the help of distance formula. With the help of distance formula. So I have already calculated these values for you, OR, AR and BR. But we all know that OR is equals to AR, that is equals to BR. So first what we will do is we will consider OR equals to AR. So OR, if OR equals to AR, that means under root P square plus Q square. See, this is OR. P square plus Q square is OR. That is equals to under root AR, that is P square plus 4y square plus Q square minus 4yq. So squaring on both the sides, and we will get P square plus Q square equals to P square plus 4y square minus plus Q square minus 4yq. So here what are the same terms, Q square and P square and Q square. So what we are left is 0 equals to 4y square plus, sorry, minus 4yq. So 4y square equals to 4yq. That means q is equals to y square by y, that is equals to y. So q we got as y. Now next thing is we will equate OR is equals to BR. Similarly, we will get P square plus Q square, after adding square I am writing, is equals to P square plus 4x square minus 4px plus Q square. So P square is gone, P square is gone, Q square is gone, Q square is gone. What we are left is 4x square is equals to 4px. Here what we get is p is equals to x. So finally we got the coordinates of R. P is equals to x and q equals to y. So xy, option number A is right answer. Coming on to question number 12, the distance of the point, P 2 comma 3 from the x-axis is what? So let us locate the point 2 comma 3. So in x it is 2. So the point is here. Point P is here. So the distance from x-axis we need. So point P to x-axis, the distance is at this point. This point, the line will be perpendicular and it will meet the x-axis, that is x is equals to 2 comma 0, and this point will be 2 comma 3. Okay, we got 2 points now. So now we will apply the distance formula. So the distance formula is, let this point be x. So xp, that is distance, is equals to under root x2 is 2, x1 is 2 whole square plus y2 is 0 minus y1 is 3 whole square. So that is equals to under root 3 whole square, that is equals to 3. So the right answer is option B, which is equals to 3. Coming on to question number 13. The distance between the points A and 6, sorry, A 0 comma 6 and B 0 comma minus 2 is what? So we simply need to apply distance formula, that is AB will be equals to under root x2 is B, that is 0 minus 0 whole square plus minus 2 minus 6 whole square, which is equals to under root 8 square, that is equals to 8. So option B is right answer. Okay, so now coming on to question number 14. The distance of the point P from the origin is what? So coordinates of point P are minus 6 comma 8 and origin will be 0 comma 0. So OP, that will be equals to, let us consider this as x1 and y1, this x2 and y2. So OP will be equals to x2 minus x1, that is 0 minus of minus 6 whole square plus 0 minus 8 whole square. So OP will be equals to under root 6 square plus 8 square, which can be written in form of under root 2 square into 3 square plus 2 square into 4 square. Further, it can be written as under root 2 square into 3 square plus 4 square, which is equals to, so this 2 will be outside now, 3 square plus 4 square, that is equals to 2 into root 25, that is equals to 10. So option number C or option C is right answer. Now the question 15. The distance between the point 0 comma 5 and B minus 5 comma 0 is what? So let this consider that this point is A. So distance of AB is what? So let this be x1 y1 and x2 y2. So x2, that is minus 5 minus 0 whole square plus y2 is 0 minus 5. So AB will be equals to under root 5 square plus 5 square, which is equals to AB is equals to under root 2 into 5 square. AB equals to no 5 root 2. Option B is right answer. Now let us come to question number 16. AOBC is a rectangle whose three vertices are A, O and B. A as 0, 3, O as 0, 0 and B as 5, 0. The length of his diagonal is what? So let us draw a rectangle first. So the rectangle is A, O, B, C. Okay. So the diagonal here will be AB. AB is diagonal. Diagonal. So the length of AB will be, what is point A, that is 0, 3 and B is 5, 0. So length of AB will be, that means length of diagonal will be under root 5 minus 0 whole square plus 0 minus 3 whole square. So AB will be equals to under root 5 square plus 3 square. So AB can be written as under root 5 square is 25 and 3 square is 9, that means root 34. So option C, root 34 is right answer. So coming on to question number 17, sides of two similar triangles are in the ratio of 4 is to 9. Then the areas of this triangle will be in what ratio? So the two similar triangles are ABC and PQR. So area, the ratio between areas, that is area of triangle ABC divided by area of triangle PQR can be written as half area of triangle ABC is base is BC into height is AD divided by half in PQR base is QR and height is PS. So now the next step here is C. It is already mentioned that BC by QR is equals to 4 by 9 because both of the triangle are similar. So here I can write BC as 4 by 9 into QR. Similarly, we can write AD as 4 by 9 into PS. Okay, so instead of BC and AD, I'll write half. BC is what? 4 by 9 into QR into AD is what? 4 by 9 PS divided by half QR into PS. So half and half will get cancelled. Similarly, QR and QR also will get cancelled. PS and PS also will get cancelled. The remaining term what we get is area of triangle ABC divided by area of triangle PQR will be in ratio 4 by 9 into 4 by 9, that is equals to 16 by 81. So the ratio is 16 by 81, that is option number D. Now let us solve question number 18. ABC and BD are two triangles which are equilateral such that D is midpoint of BC. You can see in this diagram below, that ABC and BDE are two equilateral triangles such that BC has midpoint D. Ratio of their areas will be what? So we can write BC is equals to 2 into BD because D is midpoint of BC. So let the height of bigger triangle be H and smaller triangle be small h. So H can be written as 2 into small h. Okay. Now tell me area of triangle ABC divided by area of triangle BDE will be half base is what? BC for area of triangle ABC, BC into AD, that is equals to capital H, half for BD, half BD into small h. But we can replace this capital and a small h. See, like this. Half and half will get cancelled here itself. So the ratio is between now BC. BC can be written as 2 into BD, and capital H can be written as 2 into small h divided by BD into small h. So the remaining value here is 2 into 2, that is equals to 4, and 4 can be written as 4 by 1. So correct answer is C, which is equals to 4 is to 1. So coming on to solution 19. In the figure given below, angle BAC equals to 90 degree and AD is perpendicular to BC. So which of this option is correct? So it is given that AD is perpendicular to BC. That means this is 90 degree and this is also 90 degree. This whole angle BAC equals to 90 degree. That is angle BAC is equals to 90 degree. And angle BAC can also be written as angle BAD plus angle DAC. Angle BAD plus angle DAC. Let angle DAC equals to be theta. So angle BAC will be equals to angle BAD plus theta. We know that BAC is 90 degree, so angle BAD will be 90 minus theta plus theta. So angle BAD will get as 90 minus theta. And if we had considered that angle DAC is theta, so we got angle BAD as 90 minus theta. Similarly, here we will get angle ABD as theta because three of them should be equals to 90 degrees. So theta minus theta will be 0, 90 plus 90 will be 180. So this angle will be equals to theta. That means angle ABD will be theta. Now in triangle ADB, ADB and triangle CDA, CDA, angle ABD is equals to theta, that is equals to angle CAD, and angle ADB is equals to angle CDA, which is equals to 90 degree. So by A criteria, triangle ADB is similar to triangle CDA. So we can write that AD by CD is equals to BD by AD, which means AD square is equals to CD into BD. So BD into CD, option C is right answer. Now coming on to question number 20, it is given that if triangle ABC is similar to triangle EDF and triangle ABC is not similar to triangle DEF, okay, then which of the following is not true? Fine. It is given that triangle ABC is similar to triangle EDF. That means three possible sides are here. So AB, corresponding side to AB is DE, is equals to AB by DE is equals to AC by EF. This is first one. Second one is BC by DF, corresponding side to BC is DF. BC by DF is equals to AC by EF again. Third sign what we can write is AB by DE is equals to AB by DE is equals to BC by DF. So from 1, 2 and 3 we can write, see, here it can be written that from equation 1 we can write AB by DE is equals to AC by EF. That means AB into EF is equals to AC into DE. So AB into EF is equals to AC into D. So option B is true. Option B is just true. But in that question it is asked which is not true. So option B can't be a right answer. Okay. Now second thing, what is the second thing? BC by DF is equals to AC by EF, which can be written as BC into EF equals to AC into DF. So BC into DF, BC into BC into EF, BC into EF, where it is BC into EF is equals to AC into DF. So option A also is true, which can't be right answer because we are asked not true one. So third one is AB by DE is equals to BC by DF, which can be written as AB into DF into is equals to BC into DE. BC into DE. So here it is BC into DE is equals to AB into DF. EF. BC into DE is equals to AB into DF or FT. So option D also is true, which can't be right answer. So the left answer is C, which is not true. So the option C is correct answer. So coming on to section B, question number 21. If two triangles ABC and PQ are in such a way that AB by QR is equals to BC by PR, that is equals to CA by PQ. So let us draw two triangles here. So this is one and another one is here. Now tell me. So here naming is very careful. See, AB corresponds to QR. That means here we have to write QR, which is equals to BC. So BC will come here by PR. BC corresponds to PR or RP. That is P should come here. So we got two triangles. Now we should check the similarity. So triangle PQR, PQR, we are going in this way, is similar to triangle CAB, CAB. So both the ways are correct. So option A is right answer. Now question number 22. In the figure given below, two line segment AC and BD intersect each other at point P such that PA equals to 6 cm, PB equals to 3 cm, PC equals to 2.5 and PD equals to 5 cm. If angle ABP is equals to 50 degree and angle CDP is equals to 30, then angle PB is equals to what? Okay. So we can fill the information here. See, this angle is 50 degree and this is vertically opposite angle. This should also be equals to 50 degree. Now we can write, see, what is PC by PD? PC by PD means PC, that is equals to 2.5 centimeter, divided by PD is 5 centimeter, which will be equals to 1 by 2. what is PB by PA, that is equals to 3 by 6, which is equals to 1 by 2. So from 1 and from 2 we can write that PC by PD is equals to PB by PA. Okay, so if you cross multiply here, it can also be written that PC by PB is equals to PD by PA. In triangle, PBA and PCD, angle APB equals to angle DPC. Both of them are equals to 50 degree, which are vertically opposite angles. And by equation 1 and 2 we got PC by PB is equals to PD by PA. So by SAS criteria, both the triangles are similar. And if both the triangles are similar, we can write that angle PAB is equals to 30 degree, because this is also 30 degree. We can write this angle as 30 degree. So the remaining angle now we can find, because in a triangle, that means angle 30 plus angle 50 plus angle A B sorry P B A should be equals to 180 degree, because this is angle sum property of a triangle. So angle PBA will be 180 degree minus 80, that is equals to 100 degrees. So 100 degree, option D is right answer. Coming on to question number 23, the value of expression cosec 75 plus theta minus sec 15 minus theta minus tan 55 plus theta plus cot 35 minus theta is expressed as. So this 15 minus theta, sec 15 minus theta, first consider this 15 minus theta. It can be written as 90 minus 75 plus theta. We can calculate and see. 90 minus 75 minus theta, that is equals to 15 minus theta. So sec theta can be written as sec 15 minus theta can be written as sec of 90 minus 75 plus theta, and this is in the form of sec 90 minus a, and sec 90 minus a is cosec a, and cosec a is 75 plus theta. So this can be written as 75. Similarly, we can write cot 35 minus theta as tan 35 minus theta. Okay. Now putting this equation 1 and equation 2 in this main expression, what we will get is cosec 75 plus theta minus cosec 75 plus theta is equals to 0. So minus tan plus tan, that is also equals to 0. So 0 minus 0 is 0. So option B is right answer. Now let us come to question number 24. If cos alpha plus beta equals to 0 and sin alpha minus beta can be reduced to what? So cos of alpha plus beta is equals to 0, and cos value is 0 when alpha plus beta should be equals to 90 degree, because cos value is 0 when the angle is 90 degree. So what we get here is alpha plus beta is equals to 90 degree. So we can write that alpha is equals to 90 degree minus beta. Putting this equation 1 value in alpha minus beta. So sine alpha minus beta can be written as sine, instead of alpha I'll put 90 minus beta, that is equals to sine 90 minus 2 beta, which can be written as, see, it is in the form of sine 90 minus a, that is equals to cos a, cos 2 beta. So the answer is cos 2 beta. Question number 25. The value of tan 1 degree, tan 2 degree, tan 3 degree into tan similarly till tan 89 degree is what? So first let us take this term. Tan 1 degree is in multiplication of tan 2 degree is multiplication of tan 3 degree similarly till tan 89 degrees. So let us make pair here, tan 1 degree with tan 89 degrees into tan 2 degree into tan 88 degrees similarly till tan 89 degrees into tan 1 degree. So let us find value of one expression. This will be tan 1, and tan 89 can be written as tan 90 minus 1, and tan 90 minus 1 can be written as, which is equals to tan 1 degree into tan 90 minus 1 can be written as cot 1, and we know that cot 1 equals to 1 by tan 1, and now this 1 by tan 1 and 1 by tan 1 will get cancelled and the remaining value is 1. So this value has, here the value is 1, here also it will be 1 similarly, and here also it will be 1. So 1 into 1 into 1, it is 1. So option B is right answer. Question number 27. If sine of angle A plus sine square A is equals to 1, then the value of expression cos square A plus cos raised to the power 4 A is what? So let us consider this equation first. Sine A plus sine square A equals to 1. So sine A can be written as 1 minus sine square A. But we know the value of 1 minus sine square, that is equals to cos square A. So sine A is equals to cos square A. And now coming on to this expression, cos square A plus this cos raised to the power 4A can be written as cos square A into cos square A. So substituting the value of sin A equals to cos square A in place of cos square A. So what we get is cos square A is sin A plus sin A into sin A, that is equals to sin A plus sin square A, which is again the same term, which is equals to 1. So the answer is option A, that is equals to. Question 28. The sum of the circumference of two circles with radii r1 and r2. So sum of circumference, formula for circumference is 2 pi r. Here sum of circumference of two circles. So 2 pi r1 plus 2 pi r2 is equals to circumference of the circle with radius r, 2 pi capital R. So what is common here is 2 pi r1 plus r2 is equals to 2 pi r. So 2 pi and 2 pi will get cancelled, and r1 plus r2 will be equals to capital R. So the option number A is right. Question number 29. The sum of the areas of two circles. So the question here also is same, but instead of circumference, here area is given. So formula for area is pi r square. So pi into r1 square plus pi into r2 square is equals to pi into capital R square. So pi is common everywhere. R1 square plus R2 square equals to pi into capital R square. So pi and pi will get cancelled, and remaining term is R1 square plus R2 whole square equals to R square. So option B or option D both are correct answers because they both are same. Question number 30. If the circumference of the circle and perimeter of the square are equal, which means circumference of the circle is 2 pi r, which is equals to perimeter of a square means 4a, then we need to take relationship of r and a, that is r equals to 4a by 2 pi, which will be equals to 2a by pi. So r is equals to, that is equals to r, this thing we have to take. So the area of circle is 2, sorry, area of circle is pi r square. Area of circle is pi r square, that is equals to pi into what is r? What is r is 2a by pi whole square, which will be equals to pi into 4a square by pi square, which will be equals to 4a square by pi, and area of square is a square. So if you compare 4a square and a square, 4a square is greater than a square. So the area of circle is greater than that of the area of square. Option B is right answer. Question number 31. The area of a circle that can be inscribed in a square of 6 centimeter is what? So to find area of circle, we need to find radius. Then what is radius here? We know that this whole thing is diameter, and we know that this diameter is also parallel to the side of square. So this diameter will be 6 centimeter. So radius will be 3 centimeter. So the area will be pi r, that is equals to pi into, sorry, pi r square, that is equals to pi into 3 whole square, that is equals to 9 pi centimeter square. Answer is option D, 9 pi centimeter square. Question number 32. If an event that cannot occur, then its probability is what? The event which cannot occur is also called as impossible event, and probability of impossible event is always equals to 0. So the answer is option D, that is 0. Question number 33. Which of the following cannot be probability of an event? So the probability of an event is always equal to or less than 1. It is always equal to or less than 1. So 1 by 3 is less than 1. 0.1 is also less than 1. 3%, which means 0.3, that is also equals to less than 1. This is also less than 1. But 17 by 16 is greater than 1. So D cannot be probability of an event. Option D is right answer. Question number 34. An event is very unlikely to happen. Its probability is closest to. See, if a event is very unlikely to happen, that means the probability should be very less than 1. So only one value is very less than 1. That is option A. So option A is right answer. Question number 35. If one of the zeros of quadratic polynomial of the form x square plus ax plus b is the negative of the other, means one zero, let the first zero be alpha, then other zero is minus of alpha. Okay, then they are asking the nature of these zeros. Okay, let us consider plus in the beginning. We will consider sum of two zeros. The sum of two zeros is alpha plus minus of alpha. That is equals to minus b by a, and minus b, here b is equals to a. We can see this. B is equals to a. So a by 1 is a is 1 here. So this is equals to 0. So this equation has no linear term. Okay. Now coming on to product of zeros. Product of zeros is alpha into minus alpha. That is equals to minus alpha square, which is equals to c by a. Here it is b by 1. So the second zero here is negative in nature. See, this is negative in nature. So the answer number A, that is right answer, has no linear term, which means linear term is 0, and the constant term is negative, that is B. B is constant term here, that is negative. See, B is equals to minus a square, that is negative answer. So answer question number 36. The least number that is divisible by all the numbers from 1 to 10 is what? So first what we'll do is we'll take LCM. We will take LCM of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So the LCM will get, that is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 can be written as 2 into 2 into 5 into 6 can be written as 3 into 2 into 7 into 8 can be written as 2 into 2 into 2, and 9 can be written as 3 into 3, and 10 can be written as 5 into 2. So let us make pairs. How many number of 2's are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 number are 2's there. So we can make 3 pairs. That is 2 into 2 into 2. How many 3's are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 into 3. How many number of 7 and 5's are there? Only 1 and only 1 5. Into 5 into 7. So the LCM value is around 2520. So option D is right answer. Question number 37. Graphically, the pair of equation 6x minus 3y plus 10 equals to 0 and 2x minus y plus 9 is equals to 0 has what kind of nature? So let us consider their base coefficients value. So a1 by a2 is what? A1 by a2 is 6 by 2. 6 by 2, which is equals to 3 by 1. Similarly, b1 by b2 is what? b1 is minus 3 and b2 is minus 1. That is equals to 3 by 1. Again, c1 by c2 is what? c1 by c2 is 10 by 9. Here we can see that both of these are equal. That means a1 by a2 is equals to b1 by b2, but they are not equals to c1 by c2. So this form is for the line which are parallel. So option D, parallel, is right answer. So question number 38. To solve this question, there are two ways. The perimeter of the triangle with vertex 0, 4, 0, 4 vertex will be here, 0, 4, and 0, 0, that is origin, and one more vertex is 3, 0. So we can find perimeter of this triangle by help of distance formula and also with the help of simple logic. See, here y is equals to 0 and only x value is there on x-axis. So this is 3 units, this is 4 unit, and it is making a right angle triangle because here it is making 90-degree with this because it lies on the axis. So this will be a right angle triangle and the hypotenuse will be sum of square of the other two sides and the hypotenuse value will be 5. So perimeter will be 4 plus 3 plus 5, that is equals to 12. So answer B is right. Question number 39. If cos 9 alpha is equals to sin alpha, find the value of tan phi alpha. Okay, to find the value of tan phi alpha, we should know what is alpha here. So what is given? Cos of 9 alpha is equals to sin alpha. Cos of 9 alpha equals to sin alpha can be written as cos 90 minus alpha because cos 90 minus alpha is sin alpha. Here 9 alpha is equals to 90 minus alpha, which means alpha is equals to 9. So tan phi alpha is tan phi into alpha, that is equals to phi into 9 is equals to tan 45 degree. Tan value of tan 45 degree is nothing but 1. So option C, 1, is right answer. Question number 40. If triangle ABC is right angled at C, that is triangle ABC. See, this is right angled at C, then the value of cos A plus B will be what? We know that angle sum property of a triangle is 180 degree. So 1 is 90 means A plus B should be equals to 90 degree. So cos of 90 degree will be equals to 0. So 0 is the right answer. That is A. Question number 41 to question number 45 are based on case study 1. A seminar is being conducted by educational organization where the participants will be educated for different subjects. The number of participants in Hindi, English and mathematics are 60, 84 and 108 respectively. So question number 41 is, in each room the same number of participants are to be seated and all of them being in same subject, hence maximum number of participants that can accommodate each row are what? So we need to find HCF here. HCF of the three numbers, that is 60, 84 and 108. So let us find this by method of prime factorization. So prime factorization of 60 is equals to 2 into 2 into 3 into 5. Prime factorization of 84 is 2 into 2 into 3 into 7. 108 is equals to 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 3. So the HCF what here will get is this pair and this pair, that is equals to 2 into 2 into 3, that is equals to 4 into 3, which is equals to 12. So 12 is your right answer. Question number 42. What is the minimum number of rooms required during the event? So how can we calculate number of rooms? So we need to calculate total number of students, that is 60 plus 84 plus 108 divided by number of students or participants in each room, that is equals to 12, which will be equals to 60 plus 44 is 44 plus 108 divided by 12, that is equals to, this again can be written as 12 into 12 into 12 is 144 plus 12 into 9 is 408 divided by 12. 12 plus 9 is equals to 21. So the answer is option D, that is equals to 21. Question number 43. The LCM of 60, 84, 108 is what? So let us find this by help of prime factorization. Prime factorization of 60 is 2 into 2 into 3 into 5. Prime factorization of 84 is 2 into 2 into 3 into 7. Prime factorization of 108 is equals to 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 3. So the LCM will be equals to 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 5 into 7. So if you calculate this LCM, it will be around 3780, because these three are making pair, this is making pair, and this is making pair. Rest all are remainders. So answer is 3780. Option A. Okay. Now coming on to question number 44. The product of HCF and LCM of 60, 84, 108 is what? So we know that product of HCM and LCM. We now just now we calculated HCF. HCF was equals to 12. HCF was equals to 12. LCM was equals to 3780. So HCF into LCM is nothing but 12 into 3780, that is equals to, so the LCM after calculated we got 45360. So option number D is right answer. Coming on to question number 45. 108 can be expressed as a product of prime as. So first we will do prime factorization of 108. 108 can be written as 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 3. So here this can be expressed 2 to the power 2 into 3 to the power 3. So option number D is right answer. Question number 46. Case study 2. Case study 2 is for a linear polynomial kx plus c where k is not equal to 0, the graph of y equals to kx plus c is a straight line in which intersect the x-axis at exactly one point, namely minus c by k, comma 0. Therefore, the linear polynomial is kx plus c where k is not equal to 0 has exactly one solution, that is 1 0, namely x coordinate, this point of the point where graph of y equals to kx plus c intersects the x-axis. So the question number 46 is, if linear polynomial 2x plus 3 is there, then the 0 of 2x plus 3 will be what? So p of x is equals to 2x plus 3. It is given that p of x should be 0. So 2x plus 3 should be equals to 0, and 2x should be minus 3, x should be minus 3 by 2. So option number B is right answer. Coming on to question number 47. The graph of y equals to px is given in the given figure for some polynomial px. The number of zeros of px are. See here P of x equals to y. That means function of x is only y. So this is a line of equation which is parallel to x axis. So this line will never meet x axis or never intersect x axis. So they don't have any solution or number of zeros. They don't have any number of zeros. So option D is right answer. Question number 48. If alpha and beta are the zeros of the quadratic polynomial x square minus 5x plus k such that alpha minus beta is equals to 1, then the value of k is what? So to find value of k, we should first find value of this alpha and beta. See, alpha, sum of two zeros, that is alpha plus beta, can be written as minus b by. What is minus b by a? Minus b by a is minus of minus 5, that is equals to 5, and a is equals to 1. X square is there, so 1. So alpha plus beta equals to 5. Now from this equation, alpha can be written as beta plus 1. So here in place of alpha, I'll write beta plus 1 plus beta equals to 5. So 2 beta equals to 4, beta equals to 2. We got value of beta. Now we know that alpha into beta is equals to C by A. Alpha into beta is equals to C by A. Now your beta is 2 and alpha is beta plus 1. So beta plus 1 into 2 equals to C by A. What is C? That is K, and A is 1, which will be equals to 2 beta, that is equals to beta is what? 2. So 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 into 2, 6. So K will be equals to 6. Forget this 2 beta. K will be equals to 6 because beta value is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3 and 3 2s are 6. So K value is 6. So 6 is right answer. Question number 49. If alpha and beta are the zeros of the quadratic polynomial p of x, function of x, that is 4x square plus 5x plus 1, then the product of zeros is what? We know that product of zeros is, that is alpha into gamma, which is equals to C by A. But here C is, value of C is 1 and value of A is 4. So the answer is option B, 1 by 4. Question number 50. If the product of zeros of the quadratic polynomial p of x, that is equals to ax square minus 6x minus 6 is 4, then value of A is what? So the product of zeros is given, that is alpha into beta is given as 4. But we also know that alpha into beta is equals to C by A. And what is C by A? C by A is minus 6 by A, which is equals to 4. So value of A will be equals to minus 6 divided by 4. So A will be equals to minus 3 by 2. So option number A is right answer. Thank you students. I hope you all understood the session. Thank you and have a nice day.